Crime is on the rise in the Big Apple. New data from New York City Police Department shows illegal activities rose 22% in May compared to the same time last year. Hate crimes, in particular, have risen dramatically. Violence against Asians rose 335% last month compared to May of 2020, while attacks against sexual orientation jumped 188%. It is likely at some point in our lives, we've all witnessed some type of brutality against someone else. But how do you help de-escalate those situations? So Thomas Mauro is here to explain how to safely and effectively take action. He is the Director of Exercises and Training for the Office of Emergency Preparedness and Response at New York City's Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Thank you. That's quite a title. But, you know, I think we have now seen many videos of people being attacked in the street. And in some cases, you know, there's an opportunity for other people to intervene, and it just doesn't happen. What I'm thinking about now is the situation with the Asian woman who was sort of pummeled in view of security guards inside a building. In fact, we saw the security video from that building, and we could see the security guards looking at her, and no one stopped. And, you know, when you're watching it, you're pulling out your hair, you're thinking, what's wrong with these people? Don't they care? Don't they have a heart? But I want to ask you, I mean, most people are pretty ethical and good people. So why don't they intervene? What holds people back from intervening when it comes to situations like this?
It's, you know, we live in a big city, and people generally in New York enjoy their ability to be anonymous. They walk around without situational awareness, which is very important that everyone is aware of their surroundings. They have to recognize people's behavior, and when there's suspicious activity or packages, we have to be willing to intervene. We have to be willing to not be anonymous and step in to either prevent the crime or to help mitigate a potential crime that may happen, or to take video, to take photos. But in order to do that, we have to understand our own capabilities. So what is a person trained or experienced to do? And I think that's part of the problem, is people haven't received any training. People they don't utilize their own experiences and understand that they can intervene, either through observation skills, keeping details of the event, descriptions of the persons involved. Everyone has a phone with a camera, taking photos, video, and even providing psychological first aid, which is simply staying with the person after the incident occurs and giving them some assurance until the first responders can arrive. You know, bystanders will be there before the police can arrive, so they really have an opportunity to intervene and make a difference.
So you talked about, you know, whipping out your camera, which, you know, most people are pretty good at, you know, videotaping what's happening, videotaping the suspect, offering support for the victim. Are there times that you should physically intervene? And we're talking about not just necessarily, you know, we're starting with somebody who maybe they're being harassed on the street, sort of verbally, all the way to there's a physical assault. Are there times when it's still safe to intervene, where you could, you know, stop a possible incident before it starts without putting yourself at risk?
So it's a great question, and it comes down to knowing your own capabilities. So every person is not capable of doing the same thing. So we need to have an understanding of what we're trained to do, what we're capable of doing, and doing it with safety in mind, because a lot of times the offender could be carrying weapons. The weapons could be concealed. There could be untreated mental illness in play. And people have incredible strength. It's unpredictable who the offenders are. So I think before intervening, we really have to understand what our own capabilities are and make an assessment, assessing the safety issues that may involved in physically becoming involved in a situation. You know, I can't recommend that for everyone, but again, everyone has capabilities, and everyone is capable of doing something, even if it's not physically intervening, such as a few of the things I mentioned, like taking notes, observing, observation skills, descriptions, the video, psychological first aid, even translation. So sometimes people who do not speak English can translate. A bystander can translate for the authorities once they show up. So there's many other things that a bystander can do besides becoming physically involved in an altercation.
Mm-hmm. I read somewhere that, maybe you see somebody being harassed, as simple as walking up to them and pretending like you know them. Hey, how's your mom doing? Is enough to kind of throw the harasser off and kind of get them out of that situation. Is that something that you would recommend? Or I guess it depends.
That is something that a bystander can do. It's called distraction. You can, if a person is, and this is not during a physical altercation, but if there is a verbal altercation or you see someone being harassed, you can actually say something to the victim, such as, "Hey, I haven't. I think we go to the same." I think we go to the same church. I haven't seen you in a while. How have you been? Just changing the subject, talking about something very basic, asking for the time. Yeah, those could be effective distractions that may throw the offender off and buy some time before the responders can arrive. Of course, we need to delegate someone to call 911, or if we can't call ourselves, but at some point, depending on the escalation of the incident, someone will have to make that call. So we can delegate. That's another strategy, is to delegate someone to call the authorities, or whether it be on the subway, you tell the conductor, or you notify NYPD by dialing 911.
I think sort of the moral of the story is you have options. You have to know your limitations and then know the options sort of within that. We can't go through every possible scenario, but there's all kinds of information online and programs out there. So, hopefully we planted a seed in someone's head and they'll kind of look into this stuff so they have the skills should they stumble on a situation like this. Thomas, Mauro, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Have a good day.